It stands as one of the most pivotal encounters in the history of our species. A moment that didn't just alter our story, but reshaped our biology itself. Tens of thousands of years ago, when modern humans began moving out of Africa, they entered territories already inhabited by another human group. Not creatures of legend, not beasts, but humans. Different, yet real. They were Neanderthals. For over 300,000 years, they lived across Europe and Western Asia. They hunted animals still familiar to us today. They survived brutal Ice Age winters that plunged far below freezing. They crafted tools with remarkable precision, rivaling our own abilities. And when our ancestors finally encountered them, the interaction wasn't only conflict or competition. It was connection. They interbred. They had children. And from that contact, something extraordinary remained. A genetic trace that still exists inside you today. Modern science can now detect it with striking accuracy. Most people alive today carry between 1 and 4% Neanderthal DNA, especially those with ancestry rooted in Europe or Asia. It may sound minimal, but it's enough to influence how your immune system responds. Enough to shape your hair's structure. Enough to affect how your skin reacts to sunlight, whether it tans or burns. Still, for nearly 200 years after the first Neanderthal fossils were uncovered in a German valley in 1856, one question lingered. What exactly did we inherit? What hidden marks did they leave within us? The answers didn't come from caves or museum halls, but from the sterile environments of genetic laboratories. In 2010, researchers at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology in Leipzig, Germany, accomplished what once seemed impossible. They extracted ancient DNA fragments from Neanderthal remains discovered in Croatia's Vindia cave. The work was slow and delicate. Ancient DNA is fragile, broken down over time, often contaminated. But after years of effort, scientists assembled the first draft of the Neanderthal genome. What they uncovered was astonishing. When compared with modern human DNA, certain sequences matched perfectly, as if two voices from distant ages were echoing the same tune. It confirmed that Homo sapiens and Neanderthals had interbred, that our lineages were never truly separate, but permanently intertwined. And that discovery was only the beginning. With a genetic map in hand, scientists began tracking its presence worldwide. They found traces of Neanderthal ancestry in populations across Europe, Asia, and even among Native Americans, whose ancestors carried those genes across the ancient land bridge into the Americas. But this wasn't just an interesting detail. These inherited fragments were meaningful. Some provided advantages, genes that likely strengthened immunity in unfamiliar environments. Others, however, have been linked to modern health conditions, especially those tied to metabolism and immune responses. The remains of an extinct species had become a key to understanding living human health. Each time scientists compared ancient DNA with modern populations, new links appeared. How your body fights infection, how your skin reacts to ultraviolet light, how your blood responds to injury. All of it may carry traces of adaptations shaped by Neanderthals long before your ancestors arrived in Europe. But to fully understand this legacy, researchers pushed further. They didn't just study genomes, they examined physical traits, real human bodies, faces, behaviors, measurable patterns. What they discovered may be visible in you right now. Signs of Neanderthal DNA aren't locked away in laboratories. They show up in your nose, your hair, even your sleep patterns. Subtle, but real. Telling a story that stretches back tens of thousands of years. So how can you recognize if Neanderthals still live within you? Start with your face. Neanderthals had broad noses, shaped not by aesthetics, but by survival. In freezing climates, a wider nasal passage helped warm cold air before it reached the lungs. If your nose is noticeably wide, or the bridge slightly flatter than average, you may be seeing that inheritance. It goes further. Research shows Neanderthal DNA can influence skull shape, a slightly longer skull, a faint protrusion at the back of the head. small echoes of a lineage that disappeared around 40,000 years ago. Then look at your skin and hair. Certain Neanderthal genes helped humans adapt to lower sunlight levels in Europe. They affected melanin production, influencing how skin tans or burns. They also shaped keratin, the protein responsible for hair texture. Thick, coarse hair, or even freckles, may trace back to them. If your skin burns easily, or your hair feels more rugged, those traits may have been forged in Ice Age conditions. Now go deeper, into your immune system. Scientists have identified entire segments of immune-related genes inherited directly from Neanderthals. These genes once helped early humans survive exposure to unfamiliar bacteria and viruses. Today, they still influence how your body reacts to illness. Some variants are linked to stronger immune defenses. Others may increase susceptibility to certain conditions. In a sense, their DNA still shapes the battles your body fights every time you get sick. Then there's sleep. Studies on circadian rhythm genes reveal that Neanderthal DNA can affect how long you sleep, and whether you naturally wake early or stay up late. Life in Ice Age Europe meant long, dark winters and short, bright summers. Their internal clocks adapted accordingly. If your sleep patterns shift with the seasons, or you lean strongly toward being an early riser or night owl, that rhythm may not be entirely your own. Even your blood carries their imprint. Certain gene variants related to blood clotting appear to come from Neanderthals, promoting faster, stronger clot formation. In the past, this may have been life-saving during injuries, but today it can increase the risk of clots, heart attacks, or strokes. Traits that once ensured survival can now create vulnerability. And yet, there's something deeper here. Because these genetic traces aren't just about risks or physical quirks, they are evidence of connection. Moments in time when two human groups met, interacted, and became part of one another. This is why scientists often describe DNA as a record of ancient encounters. Every fragment tells a story, not just of survival, but of merging. Every time you look at yourself, that history is still there. Think about it. The way your skin reacts to sunlight, the rhythm of your sleep, the way your body heals. These are not random details. They are echoes, carried forward from lives lived tens of thousands of years ago. So the next time someone says Neanderthals are extinct, remember this. Their presence didn't vanish. It remains in your blood, your skin, your biology. They didn't disappear completely. They are still here, in you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy historical mysteries explained through science, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next discovery. Goodbye.